Hello Libra, Elsie here to do a bonus read for you, my friends. Boy, I'm going to be doing bonus reads like crazy. Y'all are just here. Thank you so much for the way that you're loving on me, no matter what sign you are and you're watching this. Everybody, y'all have been just so amazing. Thank you so much for being here and watching. And so I do come back with bonus reads, and that's what I'm here for. I'm doing you first, Libra, because it is your birthday season. Happy birthday to you. And so I just wanted to say thank you for all the ways you've been loving on the channel. Libra, if you're interested in a private read, please look at the pinned comment. Everything you need is there if you're interested in catching me for a private read. Let's find out what's going on for Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What's the most important thing that our birthday Libras need to know? Tell me about Libra. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. We've got the Nine of Swords. There's your perfection issue. But what if I don't do it perfectly? Tell me more about Libra. We've got the Nine of Cups. So it feels as though there is something here that is going to make you very happy. It does feel like it is wish fulfillment. It's something you've always wanted to do, or something that makes you feel really internally happy when you do it. But I feel like there's a worry, and the worry is that I won't do it with precision, or I won't do it perfectly. And so I feel it's like this person has their face in their hands, right? So they're not really looking at the wish fulfillment, but they're spending all of their time worrying about all the things that might go wrong. And I haven't prepared perfectly. I haven't looked at all the analytics. I haven't looked at everything that will help me make a perfect decision. I think you're kind of stuck in the edits, is what it feels like here. You're worrying if I don't get it right, I'm probably not going to be happy. I think that's just an internal thing. We have the Three of Cups. We have the Six of Wands. And we have the Eight of Wands. It feels to me like you want to come out of some sort of comfort zone and take a risk of some sort. The Eight of Wands is here, and that Sagittarian energy. We also have Leo here, but we have the Three of Cups. I feel like you might be somebody who lives a very careful or curated life. You might have Earth energy either in the rising or the moon. So it might be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, probably Virgo. That is the perfectionist, right? The one who knows all of the details, the one who is Virgo is the one who's sort of sitting in the corner of the room, taking it all in and assessing the situation. And I feel like this Nine of Swords energy here is telling me that you worry that you're not going to do something perfectly. I feel like you're about to take a risk or about to move forward in a way that's going to make you happy but terrifies you just a little bit. And the Three of Cups is what I'm talking about. So I feel like you don't often hang out in a social situation, or maybe go out with your friends, or maybe put yourself in a situation where like everybody's out at the same place, like drinks are flowing, or maybe dinners, or it feels like you worry that you'll say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing or come off as the wrong kind of with the wrong kind of vibe. And I feel like the thing is I feel like that the people love to have you around. I feel like with this Six of Wands energy, this is like everybody is adoring this person. It's adoration. And maybe you don't like the spotlight. Maybe you don't like when people give you a lot of attention. But it feels like it does make you happy, but it feels like it may overstimulate you. That's what it feels like. That the Nine of Cups is here, and the wish fulfillment is you love getting attention. I mean, you're beautiful to look at. You're a smart dresser. Everybody, you got beautiful eyes. Everybody loves to hang out with a Libra who's nice to look at. I feel like you're about to make movement of some sort, is what it feels like with the Eight of Wands here. I feel like things move too quickly, maybe too fast in a social situation, and it moves too quickly, and you are more of a perfectionist or somebody who is worried about making the wrong move. And I feel like when you get into a group of people and things are moving too fast, it makes you a little bit nervous. Tell me what this Nine of Swords is here. We have the Moon energy. We have the Four of Swords. We have the King of Pentacles. You know what it is that you can't anticipate what's going to go down. And I think that's the worst of it. It feels like with you worry about the moon energy. Things are not as they seem. What if I read that person wrong? What if I said something and they took it wrong? It feels like you need to heal yourself of this energy here with the Four of Swords energy. The King of Pentacles here tells me, look, just move slow. Move slow. Just be yourself. Be authentic. Be solid and grounded. This person is sitting here all casual with a glass of wine. Like, I feel like you need to just relax a little bit. The King of Pentacles is a little bit chill, right? Is going to move slowly and is going to go over the details, is going to make decisions, but make them slowly. So I feel like you worry that maybe you say something that is taken the wrong way and you don't know that you've said something that's been taken the wrong way. And so I feel like because you feel as though you have to be perfect or curate yourself, that maybe you don't often go out with friends or go out and do things, because you do tend to, I think, get a lot of attention wherever you go. And I think although that makes you happy, it terrifies you just a little bit here. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. See, that's why. You're the smart dresser. You're the one who's had the glow up. You're confident. You're somebody who maybe has a good reputation. You're somebody maybe who is successful in your life. It feels like people are attracted to you because you are a snazzy dresser. Like, it feels like people like to be around you. The Magician, it feels like you don't think that this is the reason that people want you around. I feel like you think that there is, that they're like, oh, just invite Libra. Look, if Libra doesn't get invited, they're going to be upset. I think that that's what you think is going on here, and I'm going to tell you that it's not. I really think that people genuinely love to have someone around who's very confident, who looks good, somebody who is, I feel like you think that that people think you're fake or that it's an illusion, and so that's why you hold back, or you are in indecision about whether or about how you portray yourself to people. I think how people see you is somebody who, in the Magician energy, is very sure of themselves, knows their worth, somebody who has a lot of options and opportunities when it comes to people, places, jobs, opportunities. It feels like that you think that people, it feels like you have a very, what am I trying to say? You have a very different outlook on who you are as opposed to how people see you. Yeah. That you hold back. You hold back because you hold back from taking the invitations because you don't see yourself as the Nine of Pentacles, but everybody else does. Everybody else does. Got the Chariot in the reverse, so sometimes you're turning down people and saying, no, tonight's not the night, or I'm really very busy, or whatever it is. I feel like you're stopped in your tracks because you're paralyzed with hesitation here. Tell me about the Three of Cups, because you do have a tribe here, a soul tribe, a bunch of friends, people who are going to give you invitations, and I feel like it worries you when you get the invitations, but it feels like there is a soul tribe here that possibly is going to make you feel stable or sturdy. I want to say that they are not people who are going to push you out of your comfort zone. They're going to ask you to come out with them, but the King of Cups is keeping everything under the surface, is trying to stay sturdy in the storm. And so I feel like when you go out into a social place, unless you've got fire in the rising, you're maybe not a person who's very comfortable in a social space. And I think that maybe you find that you keep more to yourself in a social space. Tell me about the King of Cups. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. And we've got the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, it feels like you try and not be too vulnerable or give people too much of your energy. You're very curated, I'm going to say. You're very curated, and you're worried about what people are going to see if you bring all of this to the surface. Now, I feel like what you have underneath is a lot of worth, You're stable, you're sturdy, you're a very family-oriented, group-oriented kind of person, but I feel like you're just not very vulnerable. I think that you have a little bit of social anxiety is what it feels like. A vulnerability hangover is what you suffer from when you go out and you end up in this Eight of Wands energy. Look, maybe you have Sagittarian energy in the moon or the rising, and or fire energy somewhere, right? And it feels like that you're on, and you love to have fun, like when you're in a group of people, but then it feels like you go home later and you overthink it all. Oh my God, did I really say that? How did that person take that? You start piecing apart the conversation bit by bit by bit, and it makes you a little bit crazy. I think that the decision to go with being authentic, because look, the Page of Wands doesn't have any hang-ups. The Page of Wands is too young to have hang-ups. This is the person who is taking risks, who is, flipping it, doing things out of passion, taking risks. And I feel like the universe is trying to push you onto a different path where you are just authentically being you. Look, if you're authentically you, and you are a person who is just you, you're always going to attract your tribe. You're going to attract people who are also authentic. So I feel like you go home after a night of being out and a lot of back and forth communication. And then I think you get to this place where, these people all felt like family. They felt good. But then it gets to this place right here. Yeah. Maybe I didn't do enough. Maybe I didn't say enough. Maybe they all thought that I was stuck up. Maybe you start with the social anxiety thing in your head, piecing it all apart. And now I've got to heal from it. And now maybe things aren't as that I see them. Maybe things aren't as they seem. I've got the Empress energy here. They see you as this. They see you as the Empress. Look, Justice is here. People in your social group, they see you as somebody who is humble, somebody who is honest and truthful, somebody who is very balanced and harmonious. They see you as someone who loves harmony. The Empress is here. They also see you as very stable and sturdy, beautiful or handsome, feminine or masculine, right? Somebody who's quite enlightened, somebody who is always going to give the very balanced answer. So you may not be the one who speaks about politics on the left or the right. Maybe you're someone who's like, I don't really have an opinion on that. I don't really talk about politics when I'm out. Like, it feels like you're the person who is the harmonious one. And I feel like when you are in a group of people, that they do see you as the person who is the liberator, the one who is who's going to take, who can agree with this one and agree with that one. It feels like you're the person who brings harmony to a situation, and balance and sturdiness and settled and love. Because look, Libra and Taurus are here. I feel like this energy of Venus, this Venusian energy, is what you bring to a group. You bring this harmonious sort of balance. The Five of Cups is here. I feel like the Three of Cups being poured out and the Three of Cups being sort of hoisted in joy and happiness and celebration. I feel like you feel almost as if maybe you're boring, or you're too balanced, or you like to keep things in check. So I'm not agreeing, I'm not taking your side, I'm not taking their side, I'm just taking the middle ground. That maybe you think that people don't like that about you, but I think that that's what you offer to a group of people who are all over the place. You're the person who is the middle ground, the person who is the safe space, is what it feels like here. All right. So tell me what you can do about this, because it feels like there's somebody here who has terrible social anxiety, or you end up cutting out and maybe just not talking to people for a while because you feel like you may have said something wrong or done something wrong. We've got the Page of Swords, we've got the Page of Cups, and we've got the Three of Swords. I feel like you are the person in your group of friends who is somebody who is very knowledgeable. You're also someone who's going to do something that no one expects. It's like you're the surprise. I feel like you're a person who brings good news to the harsh, like to the people that show up that are having a hard time in their life, broken heart, disappointment. The Page of Cups is always here. They can always count on you to be the Page of Cups, the one who's going to say, but look, yeah, right now you're in this place, but the Page of Cups is here. Good news is coming, and you're going to learn about that good news soon. It's like you find a way to keep the balance in the situation here, and it's in this time when everybody is like left and right, or they are have such opposing views of everything. You're the person who is the one who brings balance into the situation. Look, I think that you really completely underestimate your energy. I think you completely underestimate your energy, Libra. So please remember that you are the person who brings knowledge, who brings the other side of the argument, who brings harmony, who brings love into the situation. I feel like sometimes you feel like this, oh, they probably don't like the way I was or what I said, but what you don't see is that people just love to be in your presence. So I feel like instead of rejecting the invitations that you get here, it's time for you to take the invitations, because I feel like you'll meet somebody. It feels like people depend on you for they see you as somebody of authority, or somebody who is a person of influence, that you influence stability and solid ground, and somebody who is stable, secure. You're the safe place. You're the one that knows the answers. So please don't underestimate the energy that you bring to a room, because I think you really do shift the energy when you walk into a room. I feel like you think that, oh God, I should just said no to that. I should have said no to that. They probably don't even like me. I feel like somebody here, and I feel like you totally underestimate how people see you. I think that people see you as somebody who's in charge. Like, if I need an answer, and I need an answer that's truthful and honest and analytical, I'm going to go see Libra. Libra is going to be the one who's already thought it out, up and down, side to side, around in circles. Libra is the one who's going to give me the most harmonious, balanced, sort of logical opinion about both sides. Yeah. And it's usually people who, you know what, I think that you're the person people who feel like they're on the outside looking in, they will gravitate to you because you have this stability and security that makes them feel like they can stay in the social situation. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to leave that right there. Thank you so much, Libra, for being here and for watching. And please stop underestimating your power in a group of people. I'm going to go for now. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.